Well, hello. It's been a while since I made a video. Appear to be having some technical difficulties today, and so I hope this comes out all right. So, what I want to talk about briefly is an experiment that I've been doing with my own life experience, you might say. I guess sometimes when we really want to discover or learn about something, sometimes the best thing to do is to be our own guinea pig, you might say. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Since I've had these unusual set of circumstances kind of come up in my life where it has become increasingly difficult for me to really do much else of what I really would be like to be doing. So, so I'll get right into the content here. And I wish to actually, first of all, propose some questions. And these being, first, what might be, as some term lucid dreaming, truly be all about? And secondly, what may seem to be as what some term deja vu actually be? And that's what I'm going to look at here, and that's what I've been trying to really discover, what these truly are all about. Because when I have these experiences, I've asked myself continually, am I just slipping into a dream? Well, no, I don't believe I am, because one of my experiences is like a very sudden shift. Like I could be sitting at my computer working or something, or reading something, or watching a movie, and just suddenly, without warning, the next thing, I just kind of come back to, you might say, and to realize all this block of time has elapsed. And no, I don't remember. I didn't fall asleep. I know I didn't fall asleep, but I remember I was here, I was experiencing such and such. So, anyway, that's basically what happens. So, why do these seemingly dreams appear to me as feeling very comfortable and very blissful? They feel as if my current home situation and my normal and waking reality, how it should normally feel. And these experiences I experience in like alternate places, or they might be alternate realities for all I know. They have this familiarity about them. Like I'm like when I'm in those experiences, I'm just totally at home. Man, it is home to me. I'm so glad to be there, and I'm experiencing what is truly what I don't experience anymore in this life, and that's being comfortable physically. And these are questions that I ask myself more and more as these experiences are becoming a more frequent occurrence for me. I'm increasingly riddled with discomfort and pain in my body, for which as of yet medical science has not been able to come up with any answers as to why I'm having all these things going on in my body that I'm having going on. And I have yet more tests to be done. And but meanwhile, why am I having these experiences that I just described? And yet, while I'm feeling just so much discomfort and pain to where it just makes most of my time just literally physically miserable. And while that is going on, I have been actively moving towards creating the change that I wish to see in the world. By being that change, I'm most of the time working at that, trying to be that change. Yet, physically and mentally each day, I'm able to do less and less. And yet my heart centered incentive remains fixed on doing what I can do. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing what I can do to be that change. Yet, there are most of my days now, I can hardly get through without feeling, even though I'm working on all the to being this change. Physically, I just feel like, gee, there are days, I just don't want to be here in this. I don't want to continue in this body if I have to feel like this. And between that and I ask myself, how much longer am I going to be here in this body if this continues? It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on, it seems. I become increasingly unable now to create outside of myself the resources that I would need to bring the healing resources to me. Those that do different modalities and so forth. In my state right now, my physical state, and this is affecting my thought processes, focus, and all that. How much would I have really to give back in exchange to another for healing services? Not much. So that's not really something I've been able to pursue. And as I've looked and searched inwardly, attempting to use everything I know to heal myself. And the answers there, I don't find any solutions. I have been unable to heal myself of what's going on here because I don't know what's going on. I can't see what's going on in there. I can't see where it's coming from. I can't see the sources. And when I thought, oh yeah, it's this or it's that, it's turned out to be not making a difference. I worked on so many different aspects of that to no avail. So, what has begun to occur daily now is when the discomfort becomes nearly unbearable, I will simply drift, or more or less, I will snap into a state, almost like an instant, which has been termed by some as many as lucid dreaming. And as I said already, it's not falling asleep. It's definitely not falling asleep. It's just like in the snap of my fingers, I'm somewhere else, experiencing something else. It's much, much different. It's like suddenly, without any conscious thought or any intent, I'm suddenly in an entirely different place, different situation. And in those places, as I've said too, I'm truly at home. At home there, it's like that's my everyday life. When I'm, that is, hey, it's home, and I love the space around me. And when I'm in there having these experiences, it's like this is my home. I love this space. It's just beautiful. It's blissful, and I'm loving every minute of it. So, how can this be? These experiences seem literally as everyday life normally would. Why am I so blissful and healthy? My body is healthy and whole there. And there I can do anything I wish to do and totally enjoy it. There's no discomfort, no pain. It's just like my health is really good, like it used to be, like it was before um, before late last fall, when all these things started happening in my body. And they were, I have to admit, gradually coming on in months prior. But, I could think of myself a year ago and I could walk 20, 30 miles a day without really, sure, I'd get tired, but I could do it. And I was doing it. I was in pretty damn good shape, considering considering the conditions I was in, traveling on the road with no resources and having to create as I went. But it was working. But now things are not physically working anymore. So, let's see where I wanted to go with this. Okay, each of these experiences, like I already said, they're in different settings and different locations. The amazing things is these are more real. More what? They are what my life in my supposedly awaking state should be. When I used to be able to create left and right and everywhere else. Create as I go, like I was explaining a moment ago. I don't know what that all went out the window with all this stuff that's going on in this body. So my question is, I'm beginning to feel that either that place could become a place of residency, that anyone could perhaps live in these states that I am drifting into. I could choose to live there and not come back into a pain, disease riddled body. So that's my question. Is that something that's a possibility? So, what is actually a dream and what is actually awake? What truly is reality? Are these merely the things that I'm experiencing, alternate realities, which I could currently exist in as well? Yeah, so I have to ask myself these questions, and that's what I am asking myself. I'm beginning to feel that either place could really be one's chosen reality. That's possible. That's why I'm doing the research. The mind seems to be so locked into what it can reference, and it rejects all that's foreign to what's programmed into it. The mind only knows what the five senses has taught it. And what has come through the five senses is all that it knows. And what I've been able to manage to add to that in the way of remembering who I am. That's the sum of what the mind can work with. Now I introduce an experience like I'm explaining here. This is totally foreign to the mind. The mind doesn't know what to do with it. The mind just says, oh, you're just imagining or you're just dreaming. No, I don't think so. I think there's something more to it than that. So my main question here is, being, is the experience of physical death truly nothing more than an illusionary experience that is contexted within strictly time itself? Whereas on the other hand, these experiences I'm having, I am beginning to conclude that I'm pulling myself out of time to have these experiences. Why? I don't, it could, you could draw a number of conclusions there. Perhaps because I can no longer experience what I wish to experience in this physical awake state, that I'm choosing, my soul is perhaps choosing to go in other realities to continue to gain the experiences I wish to have. Now that's a possibility. There may be others. So anyway, these experiences I'm referencing here have been referred to as dropping out of time. So is dropping out of time an alternative to physical death? I believe I may absolutely be true. That may be so. So, my body, it seems to be running a predetermined course, which I seem to be unable to change or affect much. And with me, I have found that I have been through near-death experiences before. I've been so close to death before that I have tried the experience of allowing myself to drop the body, and I just could never ever do it. And even now, riddled with pain and disease to the degree that I have looked into every process of dying known to man, short of physical suicide, and I certainly do not feel comfortable harming the body or forcing it into a death experience. Absolutely not. But I may, if one is undergoing pain and disease that is just beyond measure, that is just like, what's the point in this? You should be able to choose to drop the body. You should be able to choose to drop the body. That should be always an option, and I believe it is an option, but yet I have been unable to do it. So, and there are apparent explanations for why one cannot do it. Yet I continue to decline physically by the day, and it seems this is going to continue to get worse before it can get better. So I've done what I can to prepare accordingly. Yet my body just seems to be running what seems to be a predetermined course, which I have not been able to change or affect much to any degree. Believe me, I have tried. I have tried much. So what is the purpose then of this experiment, if it's an experiment? Am I my own research project? Perhaps. Is this the aim and purpose in my life right now? Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it plays a role in consciousness. So I consider that it is important that I begin to chart, record, and share the progression of this journey, and that's what I've begun today with this video. Perhaps at some point in juncture my soul will allow me the release of physical death. I have up to this point considered that I would take this body back into the ascension process, and that's where I thought I was going. And that may yet end up being the case. I cannot really say now at this point anything for certain. So, now back to the question. Can dropping out of time continually be a recourse to physical death as a means for the soul to learn or experience from an alternative perspective what it wishes to, where it gains its experience through multiple realities within a singular lifetime? This is quite radical and extreme to mainstream thought. However, I put it out there. Yes, this is my first entry here on this topic, and I will either make more videos, I will type out entries and post them, but nevertheless, I'm going to journal and chronologicalize this journey. And I will actually put this as a typed out post also, because I have some sites that I've referenced that are professional research that has been done on this, and it's documented. So there's something to this. But my question is, how do I apply that? How am I to apply this, and what am I supposed to do with it? That's happening to me right now. So that's basically all I'm going to say on this topic today. And gives you something to think about, right? Well, so we'll leave it there at this point. And I thank you for listening. And have a wonderful day or night wherever you may be. Namaste.